There's a certain kind of tired that's different, isn't there? It's not the good, honest tired you feel after a long day of working in the yard or playing with your grandkids. No, this is a different feeling. This is a heavy, persistent fatigue that seems to settle deep in your bones, a kind of weariness that a good night's sleep just doesn't seem to touch. It's that 3 in the afternoon feeling, but it starts at 11 in the morning. It often comes with friends. Maybe you've noticed your hands and feet are cold, even when the heat is on. You might find yourself reaching for a sweater indoors, wondering why you just can't seem to get warm. Or perhaps it's a kind of fog that settles over your mind. That brain fog we hear so much about. It's the frustration of walking into a room and forgetting why you're there, or losing the thread of a conversation, feeling like your mind is just not as sharp as it used to be. You feel buffered, slow. And then there are the physical signs. Do you wake up in the morning feeling puffy? Maybe your face looks a bit swollen, or the rings on your fingers feel tight. When you stand up after sitting for a while, do your joints feel stiff and creaky? That feeling of being an old tin man, needing a moment to oil your joints before you can really get moving. Maybe you've even noticed you're catching every little cold that goes around, feeling like your defenses are just down. You might have chalked it all up to just getting older. It's a common refrain, isn't it? Well, I'm over 50 now, this is just what happens. We're told to expect a decline. We're told that slowing down, feeling stiff, and having less energy is just part of the package. But what if it's not? What if those seemingly disconnected symptoms, the fatigue, the cold hands, the brain fog, the puffiness, the stiffness, the frequent colds, are all pointing to one single overlooked root cause? What if it's not about your age at all, but about a hidden internal system that's become stagnant? Today, we're not going to talk about a new supplement, a complicated diet, or an intense workout program. We're going to talk about a single, simple, almost strange-looking pose, an exercise you can do in just a few minutes a day, one that specifically targets this internal stagnation. It's a movement that acts like a powerful internal pump for your entire body, helping to clear out the fog, warm up your circulation, and restore that deep, foundational energy you thought you'd lost. And it all starts by understanding what's really happening inside. So, what is this hidden blockage? Let's talk about 2 crucial systems in your body. The first one, we all know, your cardiovascular system. You have a heart. It's a magnificent, powerful pump. It beats every second of every day, pushing oxygen-rich blood out to your fingers and toes. It's an active system. But you have another, parallel system. It's your lymphatic system. Think of it as your body's internal sanitation department, or its sewage system. It's a vast network of vessels, even larger than your blood network, and its job is to collect all the metabolic waste, the cellular junk, the toxins, and the excess fluid from your tissues, and filter it out. When this system is working, you feel light, clear-headed, and your immune system is strong. But here's the problem, and it's the most important thing you'll learn today. Your lymphatic system doesn't have a built-in pump. It doesn't have a heart. It is a completely passive system. It relies entirely on 3 things to move: your deep breathing, your movement, and the contraction of your muscles. When we're young, we run, we jump, we tumble, we climb trees. We are constantly moving, twisting, and breathing deeply. We are, without knowing it, constantly pumping this system. But as we get older, we become more sedentary. We sit at desks. We drive in cars. We relax on the sofa. And that gentle, constant pumping stops. The sanitation department goes on strike. The fluid becomes stagnant. This is where the puffiness comes from. It's where the stiffness begins, as that waste-filled fluid gums up the works in your joints. It's a big reason for the brain fog, as the clearance system for your brain slows down, And it's why you get sick so often. Your immune cells are stuck in traffic. But that's only half the story. There's another stagnation problem, and it lives in your legs. Remember how your heart pumps blood out? Well, that blood has to get back. Getting blood from your feet all the way back up to your heart, fighting gravity every inch of the way, is a massive job. Your heart can't do it alone. So, your body built a backup. It's often called your secondary heart. What is it? It's your calf muscles. Every time you take a step and your calf muscle contracts, it squeezes the deep veins in your legs, forcing that deoxygenated blood upward, one valve at a time. It's a brilliant, simple pump. But what happens when we sit for long periods? That pump is turned off. The blood, instead of moving up, begins to pool in the lower legs. This is a condition called chronic venous insufficiency, or CVI, and it is incredibly common. According to experts at the Cleveland Clinic, CVI, which is the root cause of that leg heaviness, swelling, and those visible, bulging varicose veins, affects up to 40% of women and 20% of men over the age of 50. This is why your legs feel heavy and achy at the end of the day. It's why you might get swelling around your ankles. Dr. Mark Whiteley, a world-leading venous surgeon, puts it starkly. The calf muscle pump is responsible for pumping 90% of the blood out of the leg. If it's not activated, blood stagnates and pressure builds. That pressure is what you feel as heaviness, and it's what causes those veins to distend over time. So we have two massive, related problems: a stagnant lymph system with no pump, and a stagnant venous system with its pump turned off. The result is an internal traffic jam. You feel tired, foggy, stiff, and heavy. What if we could fix both problems at the same time? With one pose? This is where this simple, powerful movement comes in. You may have seen it in a yoga or a physical therapy setting. Some call it a goddess squat, others a sumo squat. Because of the deep, wide-legged position, it's often compared to a frog. But the name doesn't matter. What matters is what it does. Here is what it looks like, and I want you to do it gently. Please, do not try to be a hero. The goal is gentle activation, not a strenuous workout. If you feel at all unstable, hold onto the back of a sturdy chair or a kitchen counter for support. You're going to stand with your feet wide, maybe 3 or 4 feet apart. Now, turn your toes to point outward, comfortably, perhaps at a 45-degree angle. Place your hands on your hips or hold onto your chair. Now, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're simply going to bend your knees, tracking your knees in the same direction as your toes. Here is the most important part. You only go down as far as you feel comfortable. For some of us, that might be a tiny, almost invisible bend. For others, you might be able to lower your hips until your thighs are parallel with the floor. It does not matter how deep you go. What matters is the movement. Now, pause at the bottom for just a second. Then, pressing through your heels, slowly, mindfully, straighten your legs and come back up to a standing position. That's it. That's one repetition. We're not asking for 100. We're not asking for 50. We're asking you to start with just 5 gentle, mindful repetitions, maybe 10 if you feel good. The power is not in the quantity, it's in the quality of the movement and what it's starting inside your body. So, what is this simple up and down movement actually doing? It seems too simple. But it is a master key, unlocking 3 profound internal benefits. First, let's talk about that stagnant lymph system, the one that's causing the puffiness and brain fog. This pose attacks that stagnation in 2 powerful ways. The first is through your breathing. When you do this movement, especially when you focus on it, you naturally begin to breathe more deeply. I want you to consciously pair your breath with the pose. Inhale as you stand tall. Exhale as you lower down. This deep, diaphragmatic breathing is everything for your lymph. Your diaphragm, the big muscle under your lungs, is what Dr. Perry Nicholson, a renowned lymph expert, calls the piston that pumps the lymph. As it moves down and up with each deep breath, it creates a powerful pressure change in your chest cavity, literally sucking the lymph fluid up from the lower body into the thoracic duct. The thoracic duct is the main highway of your lymphatic system. It moves over 75% of your body's entire lymph fluid, and its primary engine is your deep breathing. By coordinating this deep breathing with the movement, you are turning on the master pump for your body's sanitation system. But there's a second, more magical thing happening. It's what Tom Myers, the author of Anatomy Trains and a legend in understanding our body's connective tissue, talks about. Our muscles, bones, and organs are all wrapped in a spiderweb-like matrix called fascia. When we are sedentary, this fascia gets gummy, and stagnant fluid gets trapped in it. Myers explains that a pose like this, a deep squat, literally wrings out this old stagnant fluid from the sponge of your fascia and connective tissues. As you lower into the squat, you are squeezing the sponge. Then, as you stand back up, the pressure is released, and new, fresh, hydrating fluid is drawn back in. This, he says, is a micro-massage for your deep internal tissues. You are literally flushing the old, toxic fluid out and drawing new, clean fluid in with every single rep. There's even a third element. As you squat down, you are gently compressing your abdominal cavity and your internal organs. When you stand up, that compression is released. This pressure change creates a flushing effect for the organs themselves, and it even helps stimulate peristalsis, the natural muscular wave of your digestive tract. So you're not just clearing your lymph, you're aiding your digestion and flushing your deep organ system at the same time. This is the deep internal activation that begins to clear the fog, reduce the puffiness, and make your joints feel fluid and easy again. That's benefit 1. You've just reactivated your entire sanitation department. Now for benefit 2. Let's go back to that secondary heart and the problem of leg heaviness. Remember that long-haul flight? Why do your feet swell? Because you haven't moved. You haven't used your calf muscle pump. The blood has pooled, and the pressure has forced fluid out into your tissues. A study from the Journal of Vascular Surgery confirmed what we all intuitively know. Simple calf flexing exercises, just like the ones you are doing in this pose, dramatically increase venous return and can prevent that dangerous, uncomfortable blood pooling in the legs. When you are in this wide-legged squat, your lower legs are at an angle. To push yourself back up to a standing position, you must engage your calf muscles. You are pressing through your heels, your entire leg is tensing, and your calf muscles are contracting powerfully. You are, in effect, performing a full-body version of a calf pump. With every single repetition, you are squeezing those deep veins. You are mechanically forcing that stagnant, deoxygenated blood up, up, up out of your legs and back to your heart and lungs to be refreshed. You are giving your secondary heart a powerful jumpstart. This is the exact mechanism that addresses the root cause of chronic venous insufficiency. This is why, after just a few reps, you might feel a warmth or a tingling in your legs. That's not just muscle burn, that's circulation, that's fresh blood moving in and old blood moving out. This is the solution to that feeling of heavy, achy, tired legs. This is how you start to feel light on your feet again. This is how you warm up those cold hands and feet, by improving the efficiency of your entire circulatory loop. You're not just pumping lymph, you're pumping blood. We've cleared the lymph, and we've pumped the blood. But there is a third, and perhaps most important, benefit. This one is about strength, stability, and your independence. As we age, one of the greatest fears is the fear of falling. A fall can be a life-changing event, and we're often told to walk more or to climb stairs to keep our legs strong. But here's the problem. Walking and climbing stairs are forward and back movements. They are great, but they completely neglect a critical set of muscles. Falls, more often than not, don't happen forward. They happen from a simple side step. You step to the side to avoid something, you lose your balance, and you go down. Why? Because the muscles that control lateral, or side-to-side, stability have been forgotten. These are your hip abductors, outer thighs, and crucially for this pose, your hip adductors, your inner thighs. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Gerontology found a direct, undeniable correlation between weak hip adductor and abductor muscles and an increased risk of falls in older adults. This wide-legged pose is one of the only simple, functional exercises that directly targets these specific, stability-critical muscles. You are training your body to be strong, not just moving forward, but moving sideways. You are directly plugging the specific weakness that leads to a catastrophic fall. But let's make it even more real. Consider a common scenario, one I see all the time in physical therapy. Think of a 70-year-old client who struggles to get out of a low car seat or a soft, deep armchair. What do? They often have to push with their arms or rock back and forth to get the momentum to stand. They feel stuck. Why? It's not just their quads. It's because their hip adductors, those inner thigh muscles, and their glutes are too weak to provide that initial power-up burst. This very goddess squat is a direct prescription to rebuild that specific functional strength. The strength it takes to powerfully bring your knees together and squeeze your glutes is the exact strength you need to stand up from a low chair with confidence and stability. It's the strength to get out of a car without help. It's the strength to get up off the floor if you've been playing with your grandchildren. This pose isn't just an exercise. It's retraining your body for independence. It's building the specific strength that protects you from a fall and gives you the power to move through your life with confidence. When you strengthen your hips in this way, you also provide massive support for your knees, often reducing the knee pain that comes from instability and weak surrounding muscles. So, let's recap what this one simple pose is doing for you. You're not just doing a squat, you are initiating a profound 3-pump-in-1 activation. With your deep breathing, you are firing up the diaphragmatic pump, the piston that clears 75% of your body's stagnant lymph fluid, sweeping away brain fog and puffiness. With the squat and stretch motion, you are activating the fascial pump, wringing out your body's connective tissue like a sponge to flush out old toxins and draw in new, healthy fluid. And with the powerful leg contraction, you are turning on your skeletal muscle pump, your secondary heart, to force stagnant blood out of your legs, fighting venous insufficiency, warming your body, and ending that feeling of heaviness. And on top of all of that, you are building the exact, specific lateral strength in your hips and inner thighs that is scientifically proven to prevent falls and give you the power to stand up, move, and live with confidence and independence. This is why this one pose is so powerful. It's not about building big muscles. It's about reactivating your body's deep, internal systems. It's about flushing, pumping, and strengthening from the inside out. So, here's my invitation to you. Right now, when this video ends, find a clear space. Grab a chair for balance if you need it. Stand with your feet wide and your toes pointed out. And just try it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and slowly, gently lower down, only as far as feels good for you. Then, press through your heels and stand back up. Do 5. Do 10. Pay attention to your breath. Feel the muscles in your inner thighs and legs engage. Feel the sense of activation. Don't be discouraged if it feels awkward at first. Be gentle. Be consistent. This isn't a race. This is an act of maintenance. It's an act of tuning up your own body. Just a few minutes, every day or even every other day, is all it takes to start feeling the change, to feel lighter, to feel clearer, to feel warmer, to feel stronger and more stable on your feet. You have the power to turn these systems back on. You just need to give them the signal. This pose is that signal. Try it. You have nothing to lose but that feeling of stiffness, fogginess, and fatigue. You can do this.